Hey, one more thing before you go. It's finally here, Christmas Eve. And because Christmas is all about family, friends, traditions, food, music, dance, presents, and so much more, I've been talking about it all this week. In this episode, part 3 of 3, we might do an extra bonus episode this weekend. Might surprise you. But here on Christmas Eve, we're going to continue to explore some of Diane and my favorite Christmas memories. You've heard the ones from all the other people that we've spoken with all over the country and across the world. We talk about memories, we talk about traditions, we talk about the holiday and everything. But now we're going to talk about what it means to us. So stay tuned. Stick with us throughout this week, including Christmas. We're going to share with you, me and my wife's favorite Christmas memories. Hey, Diane.
Hey, Michael.
I know we're in the same house. It doesn't look like we are, but we really, really, really are.
We are.
And we're pretty much ready for Christmas. We've had our lights up for a while now, and we've actually lit up this corner of the neighborhood, which is kind of cool. I really think we had a good time with that this year. We added some more lights than we had the last few years.
Yeah, and we had it done on Thanksgiving weekend.
Which is great.
That is a record.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever done it that early.
I don't think we've ever done that early either. But we kind of we'll try that as a new tradition. How's that? So you thought of any traditions or some memories you want to talk about first? You want to talk about traditions first or memories?
I don't know. I guess the only tradition I can think of that we have, getting one ornament every year to mark the year. We've done that.
Except for last year. We missed last year, but that was the United States Postal Service's fault.
Yeah. So we didn't do that last year, but that's kind of probably the biggest tradition. And then I don't know what happened a few years ago when it just so happened during the holidays is when we want to try a new recipe or a new kitchen gadget. All of a sudden, let's just do that on the holiday because that's a great idea. I would like to stop that tradition, although it worked out this year.
It worked out this year.
We had early Christmas with our kids, but it worked out. But it was touch and go there for a while.
Yeah, but but we also discovered because I don't know if it was for my birthday or Father's Day or a combination of it, but I got an Emerald Lagasse pasta maker, pasta and beyond maker. So since we eat gluten-free, it's always hard to find really good gluten-free pasta. So we thought we'd take some Namaste flour and use the Emerald Lagasse pasta maker and see if we can make our own pasta. And it actually turned out, I mean, we had some trouble. We had a little bit of issue, but it was only, we started to fall back into that, dinner's ruined mode, but Caitlin and I pulled it off, didn't we?
Yes, you did. You did it. I just went into another room because I thought, if this goes the way it usually goes, I don't want to have my name on it. So I just went into another room, and then it turned out great. And I was like, "Oh crap, I can't claim it."
Yeah, and now we know how to make our own pasta. It was great. I mean, it was fresh pasta.
Yes, it was really good.
Yeah,
and I'm just really happy I get to eat pasta again.
And fresh pasta. I mean, there's just a unique taste about having fresh pasta. And I grew up with my sister and my brother-in-law cooking fresh pasta because he was from Rome. My first brother-in-law, he was from Rome. So my sister learned how to cook from his grandmother, like true Italian cooking, and she made fresh pasta all the time. And she did it by hand, and I didn't have it for the longest time. And then I've had it a couple times here because I've been lucky enough to be over at her house when she was making it, and we tried some gluten-free recipes together But,
Hmm.
she went through a much larger process than this. This
It
actually
was
turned out to be
very,
pretty quick and
very
simple. Once we
cumbersome.
got the bugs worked out of it, it worked out pretty well. So we had
Yeah, it
an
did.
early Christmas dinner of a fantastic pasta dish.
Hmm.
It was pretty
It's
good.
really good.
So now our new
Yep.
tradition every year is gonna I think it's just gonna be to make a new kind of pasta.
Okay, that works.
That work? Pasta and
Instead
fish
of
and
instead of a new crazy recipe, I think one year we did lamb, and one year we did I don't know, something in the instant pot last year that didn't work out. And it's just let's just stop that one
yeah, let's
and
just stick
just
with.
make pasta. We can make different kinds of pasta. This is different as we're gonna go.
And we can
Yeah.
practice. I mean, we can do a lot of practicing now. See, we're both gonna. Yeah, and we'll see, guys. We'll see us next year, and we'll be sitting here 300 pounds of pasta.
I'll just have a plate. I'll just be eating it as we're talking.
While we're
Um,
talking.
and another tradition we started this year, which I swore I would never be sucked into, but I was. Now I am, and I'm planning on being off for all of Christmas week and or next week, whatever, and watching Hallmark Christmas movies. Oh my god. I swore I'd never be sucked in. I was.
Yeah, we got sucked in several times. We've already watched several of them, and
Yeah.
it kind of brought us in. We always know the beginning, and then we know the
In the
middle. We know
middle
what's going to
and the
happen in
end.
the end. 100%. It's like a cookie cut template.
Yeah.
You know it's going to happen. It's
Hmm.
small girl goes to small town back home or small town, runs into old love, or switch it, and it's the guy goes back home, goes back
Right.
in there and meets the girl of his dreams that he went to high school with, and pretty soon they're back together because this one something happened there and something happened there, and their
Hmm.
lives were going to the crap, and all of a sudden, boom, they found each other again, and then they no kissing, no holding hands, no nothing. And the
Nope.
movie's ending when uh, magically
Second
they
kiss.
kiss.
Yeah.
It's like
But yeah. So new tradition, I guess.
this,
Maybe. I don't know. Get it all out of my system this year and never go back.
and I go
I don't
back to
know.
it. Well, we do,
Hmm.
we do some other traditions with movies, Christmas movies like Elf,
Well,
and then A
yeah.
Christmas Story, and
And Christmas
Christmas
vacation.
Chronicles with Kurt Russell.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's a good one.
yeah, Christmas Chronicles
That's
with
a
Kurt,
good
and
one.
then the one with uh, Anna Kendrick,
Yes.
where she's the daughter of Santa Claus.
I don't
And we
remember
say
the
this is one of our favorite movies as tradition. I can't remember the name.
can't remember.
They
We're old. That's our
they
excuse. We're
crash
old.
landed in Phoenix.
Isn't it her name?
Hmm?
Isn't her character's name the name of the movie? Oh crap.
Yeah, to put
Well,
us on the spot. We always do
it's
this when we
really
do this
good,
late.
guys. I promise you. It's a really, really cute movie, and we watch it every year since it came out, which was like, I don't know, 2 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, it's
Anna
it.
Kendrick.
And Kendrick, look up the movie. It's a Christmas movie. It's good.
It's a Christmas movie.
Yeah,
She
it has a great ending.
she's
So that's kind of
Santa's
a tradition.
daughter.
What's your
Yeah.
favorite memory? I mean,
Um,
even before we got married, what was your favorite memory? And then we can maybe talk about one of your favorite memories from since we've been married for 32 years.
okay. Well, I think my 10th birthday Christmas. My birthday's 3 days after Christmas, so that this for everybody to have context. So birthday Christmas, my 10th one was probably my first favorite one because I got every single solitary thing I asked for,
Santa
like
listened.
down to the bottom of the list, everything. It was awesome. And my favorite present that year was my Olivia Newton-John Totally Hot album because I had warped my Grease soundtrack album. Wow, I'm really dating myself. Anyway,
I think we
so
gave it away when we said we're married 32 years.
yeah, yeah, that just gives away that I'm as old as I am. I was 12. No, I'm just kidding. No. Um, yeah, so that's my first favorite Christmas memory, probably. And then sophomore year, I remember my mom and stepdad getting, um, they fooled me and my stepsisters and I have two stepsisters, Shelly and Tiffany. Hi, guys. And so I was a sophomore in high school. Shelly is like 3 years younger than me, 4 years younger than me. And then Tiffany is younger than 8 years younger. I can't remember. Anyway, um, so they got us all, kind of what we wanted on our list, whatever. Not every single item, and then they waited till the end, and we had big, huge boxes. All three of us had a single huge box, and we unwrap it and open it up, and it's a box, and it's wrapped. And we take it out and we unwrap it, and it's another box. And then we went through box and box and box and box and box until it got down to this little one, and it was each of us got $100 bill, and that was like
So a huge box,
a
and a box,
huge
and a
amount of
box, and a
money.
box to get $100 bill.
Right. Well, but for kids to get that too, I mean, that was 1983. So
It's worth
that
like
was a lot of money.
$200 now.
It was awesome. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty slick.
Yeah.
Well, it's my favorite. I have a couple different favorites growing up as a kid. I mean, I remember one that I was probably 8 or 9 years old. My family was still together, which was really nice. We lived in the old blue house on West Harrison Road. And I remember we had, obviously, my parents are listening from up above, so forgive me. We actually had found our gifts hiding under the bed before we got them anyway.
You and Chris?
Yeah. So when they put them out, we had to act all surprised and had to play it up like, and they went, "You figured it out, didn't you? You guys snuck under the bed." It's like, yeah.
You guys weren't actually the best actors as you thought you were.
Apparently we weren't. It's like, yeah.
No.
But I got, and you're going to laugh about this, but at the time it was pretty cool. I got a Batman utility belt and a Batman cape. Yeah. It was pretty cool. Actually, it's pretty cool. It had all these little things that were attached to it. It had the little bat, the bat rappel, this little bat on the end of a string that you could, put to throw up and climb up stuff, which I tried, didn't work, broke it.
So this was back in the days back in the days when you did the decoding of the Ovaltine commercial.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Pretty close. But it was slick. I'd run around the neighborhood dressed in my Batman uniform, and you had a little thing that went across your chest that was the Batman, the bat, and you had a mask, and then
And you said you were how old?
I think 8 or 9.
Okay, I was going to say please be under 10. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was 8 or 9. That was kind of cool. Yeah. So that right there was, I think, one of my favorite, because although we had figured it out, it was still a blast. And, my family was still together pretty much at that point. We were having a good time, so that worked. And then, Christmases as I grew up were, we had a huge family, or we have, I should say, a huge family. My grandparents, my mother she was one of 8. One of 8. She was the oldest, actually, of that 8, and that one of 8. You figure they were married, they had kids, and then eventually their kids had kids, and we'd go to a family reunion, or we'd go to a Christmas, and all of us would be there, and you'd have 40 people there. And we lived in an apartment complex where there were. It was a large apartment complex, but we all lived in the same apartment complex. My grandparents worked for the apartment complex. My Uncle Bob worked for the apartment complex, but everybody lived in this huge complex. It was maybe, I would say, at least a half a mile campus between all the buildings and everything.
Wow.
In a square. I mean, it was huge. And you had grandma lived in one apartment. Aunt Madeline and Uncle Bob lived across the small hallway, and then upstairs was one of the aunts, and and on one side, and the other side was another aunt. So we'd show up there, and then we'd bounce between all the apartments. It was like, like a big house, but it really was an apartment complex. And we'd go out and
Right.
play football on the front lawn, huge front lawn. Stay up. That's the days that you could stay up, and when the street lights came on, you could
Yep.
kind of get away with being out a little bit farther, a little bit longer,
Mhm.
but it was safe to be there, and we'd play
Mhm.
football and run around, and it was fun. It's a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
that was one of my other favorite memories is, those big family gatherings when we were all together like that, which,
Mhm.
I've lost so many of my family members now that cousins included that, and everybody's all over the country now that we haven't done that for a really,
Right.
really long time.
Well,
So,
I can remember, in at least the first, 10 years we were married, going over to your mom's for what I
yeah,
considered large family gatherings. They probably weren't as large as what you remembered as a kid, but I never had, real large ones
no,
like
we
that.
had,
So it was probably half the size of what you grew up with, but I was like, wow, there's
yeah,
a lot of people here.
probably half the size because sometimes Aunt Pauline and and then her kids would come down. And of
Hmm.
course, Kelly and Virgil had 3 kids.
I think three, yeah.
I think 3, not 4, but I think
Hmm.
3.
Hmm.
So yeah, they would show up there, and there was others that would always come. So we'd probably have 20 people,
Hmm.
maybe something like that.
Yeah.
Whereas with the cousin and everybody, yeah, I would easily put it 45 or 50, really, when you really start to
Yeah.
think about it. Because
A lot of
I
cousins.
mean, I remember all my cousins being there, and then
Hmm.
when they got married, they had kids, and it was just crazy,
Hmm.
crazy. I mean, I had kids late, but some of them had kids really early. Um, but yeah, those were kind of cool, actually. So
Hmm.
my favorite. Well, tell me about your favorite memory since we've been married.
Um, I remember, I want to say, okay, so I can't remember for sure if it was the girls getting phones or me
That's
getting
one
a
of my
phone.
favorite ones. No, it's the girls.
Yeah. Was it the girl? Did all three of us get a phone?
No, we
Or was it
had,
just the
well, I had
girls?
one for the police department,
Well, yeah.
and I think you had one as well. But
So it
the
was just
girls
the
have been wanting
girls.
one and wanting one and wanting one, and
That was the same year you got me the French speaking lesson thing.
yes, the French
Was it
language
French?
program.
Yeah, which I'm still trying to learn
Yeah,
years
and the
later.
kids were
I think
probably
I might.
what, 8 and 6 or 9,
Yeah.
maybe 10 and 8. They're probably 10 and 8.
At the most, they were 10 and 8, and
Yeah.
now they're 31 and 29. I'm still trying to learn French.
And that story was really funny because we literally we hung, we turned the phones on, put them in a box, turned the phones on, hung them on the tree,
Hmm.
and then we called them, and they were going over the tree. What
Yeah,
the heck? What is that? What is that? What is
yeah. We
that?
took them. We took them out of the boxes and hid them in the tree.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We took them
Yeah,
out of the
yeah.
box, turned them on, took them out of the box.
Right.
We put them in a package in a little box that we hung on the tree.
Okay. I guess I remember them being in the tree. So yeah,
Yeah, and they had
yeah.
to look. They had to look, and they finally had
And
to.
the tree was ringing.
The tree was ringing for both of
Yeah,
them. Yeah, and they're kind of, what
yeah.
the heck is that? What is that? And then they've,
Hmm.
freaked out. And then 3 weeks
Hmm.
later, Caitlin got hers wet in a pool, uh, and Nikki lost hers, or it was like, yeah, that was short lived for a little while. And then
Yeah.
we realized why you
Didn't
don't
last
give
long.
cell phones to 10-year-olds and 8-year-olds.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of my favorite too, because thought we were
Yeah.
so sly, so sneaky. Say this
Yeah.
is going to be good because they've been wanting cell phones, wanting cell phones, wanting cell phones. Their friends,
Hmm.
every one of them had it. Maybe they're a little older than that, maybe 12 and 10.
That could be.
Yeah, I think
It's
more like
terrible. I don't
12 and
remember.
10. See, now we're telling our age because you can't remember back then, kids. But yeah, I think we're 12 and 10 because we were debating whether or not to give them a cell phone. They go, oh, my friends got one, my friends got one, my friends got one. You guys
Hmm.
have one. Why can't I have one? And at the time, to fool them, it's like, well, Dad has one because he needs one for work.
Hmm.
And
Mom has one because she works so far away.
yeah, I mean, We had them fooled for a while. But
Hmm.
yeah, I remember that. Or how about the time, because I was working nights most of the time, and the time that
That was the one I was
especially
thinking too.
especially this one time when I didn't
Mhm.
get home till like, I don't know, 1:30 or 2 in the morning because of work. I got late
Really?
cases, and we were still wrapping presents at like 1:30 or
I,
2 in the morning,
I, I think you got home at 3, and
maybe
we were
3.
up till. I mean, because it
Yeah,
was
we cut
like
it
they're
close.
going to be up in 5 minutes.
Well,
We have
Caitlin
to
said
get
she
this
saw us
done.
wrapping the presents, and then
Hmm.
she knew that we had something to do
That
with Santa Claus. Because I don't want to ruin it
right,
for any kids listening to this. She
right.
said that she knew that,
And we told her we're just helping Santa.
yeah, exactly.
He was just really busy this
Santa
year.
was busy, and
So we're just
but
helping Santa. And I
it
do
was
remember setting out the cookies and making the cryptic note. I would always write out the note to the
yeah,
girls in some weird, um, I just try to disguise the handwriting. It worked for a couple of years at least.
it did for a little while. I think we lost it when, as I Caitlin kind of figured it out, and I don't know if
Yeah,
she ever really told Nikki, but she figured it out because her bedroom was right.
that was the problem. Her bedroom was
Yeah,
right there, like
so it kind of
right outside the family room.
yeah, just kind of blew the. But hey,
Hmm.
I was tired, but we did it. We accomplished it. It's one of the many holidays that people don't understand. Cops work, and firefighters and doctors and nurses and paramedics and EMTs. They all
Hmm.
work holidays like that. And sometimes the holidays get postponed, or sometimes
Yeah.
holidays don't always get the good start like everybody, gets to do because of those work. So, from at least from our perspective, I want to thank any first responders that are listening out here: police officers, firefighters, deputy sheriffs, EMTs, doctors, nurses. Any one of you guys. Thank you very much for your service. Thank you for spending the time to work on holidays so that we are all safe and sound and so forth. I
Hmm.
did it for so many years, and we had to readjust holidays so many times. I empathize with you.
Yep,
So thank you.
absolutely. Hmm.
But yeah, those are some of my favorite memories, I think, in regard
Hmm.
to at least us growing up. And we've made new memories moving from Colorado. We got we were always used to like snow and nice green trees in the mountains, just like you grew up in the mountains too. And it
Hmm.
was different when we moved down here to Arizona. Christmas got
Yeah.
to be a little different, especially the first couple of years, because it didn't feel like Christmas because it wasn't snowing, and everywhere you look there's palm trees or there's desert trees, and it was
It
kind
was
of
very
unique and new.
strange.
Yeah.
It was
I,
very strange. And that first, even like that first Thanksgiving was 85 degrees, and I was trying to watch football, and I was like, this is just it doesn't match. I don't understand. I really just couldn't wrap my brain around it.
the first Halloween we came down here, the kids were used to, we're coming from Woodland Park, coming from the mountains.
Hmm.
Every Halloween, invariably, it would be a blizzard. And, you would wrap the kids up in their, we put them in their costumes and they have to wrap them in their
Hmm.
winter gear and then drive them
Yeah.
around because it was too,
Hmm.
too blizzardy for them to walk around. I mean, we did it. The whole town did it,
Well,
but we'd, walk them
yeah.
around or
I
drive them around
remember
in the
you
snow.
working. You were working one of the Halloweens, and well, more than one probably, but the one I remember, you were working, and I was driving the girls around for trick or treating, and it was a whiteout. Like we were right around the corner from our house and didn't know where we were. It was horrible. Should not have had them out.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
Amazing. Made it back alive.
yep, I remember that. I remember that too. But
Hmm.
coming down here, we've had to come up with some new traditions as well because, again, we had to readjust how we decorate and how we think of
I
it as
kind of like
Christmas.
I kind of like Halloween down here. I have to
I do
admit.
too.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot more used to them. I really like Halloween actually because we set up everything in the driveway and um, the kids just come by the table and pick up some glow sticks and some candy and
Yeah, we take the
it's
dog
fun.
out.
It's fun to decorate for that.
Yeah, we sit out there with the dog, and he gets to see stuff
Hmm.
and so forth. So it's really kind of cool. Kind of cool.
And
Kind of
watch all the
cool.
other parents take, with their solo cups of who knows what they're
Who
drinking.
knows?
Anyway, they walk around the neighborhood. It's fun.
Well, I have to say this. I do, now that we're reflecting on family and friends and talking about things that we've done in the past, I miss my family. I miss my father. I miss my stepfather, Burl. I miss, my mom. I miss family that I've lost. And I'm hoping that they're enjoying the holiday, wherever they're at in regard to that, because I remember always going down to, for Thanksgiving and for Christmas, dinner. Sometimes it was late. Sometimes you had to bring me food, but, Pop cooking,
Yeah.
his famous stuffing and turkey and
Yes.
stuff like that. I miss that. That was something that I kind of really resonates with me. I wish they were still here for that. Not just for that purpose, but, I wish they were here.
Yeah. 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 Those were some fun times.
So I know that I wanted, because this is the end of the year, and I really appreciate everybody that's part of the One More Thing Before You Go family, everyone that's listened here, everyone that has subscribed, everyone that continues to listen, download, and subscribe. I think of you all as family. I think of you in a very personal way. And I really appreciate you each and every day that you're listening and participating and engaging and connecting with One More Thing Before You Go. So from my perspective and from Diane's perspective, I think we would like to wish you a very, very Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holiday, whichever one that you celebrate. And we're hoping that you have a prosperous, healthy, and happy New Year in the year 2022.
Emphasis on healthy for everybody.
Emphasis on healthy.
Yes.
So thank you for being part of the family. Thank you for being with us during this time period. I'll look for a couple of bonus episodes this week. But other than that, a reminder that we're going to take a break, and you won't hear much from us over between now and the first week of January. We're going to enjoy our family just like you guys are. And I want to give you some of my favorite episodes throughout the last 141 of them, and kind of reinvigorate some of the favorite ones that I've had throughout this last couple of years. And I look forward to new guests, new topics, new energy, new motivation, and new inspiration in the first of the year. Happy, happy, happy time. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, everybody. Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of One More Thing Before You Go, a unique conversation about life. If you like our show and want to know more, check out our website at beforeyougopodcast.com. That's beforeyougopodcast.com. Tell your story, share your expertise, contribute to the blog, and subscribe to the newsletter. You can find us as well as subscribe to the program and rate us on your favorite podcast listening platform.
And one more thing before you go. Have a nice day, have a nice week, and thanks for listening.
One More Thing Before You Go, a unique conversation about life podcast, is a creation of One More Thing Productions, established 2010, all rights reserved.